Who are you? Where do you train out of?
I am Jozette, the #1 head buster. I am currently out of Monstar Kickboxing and Fitness and Omaha Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu.
Awesome. Tell me a little bit about your background. What brought you here?
Started boxing in my teenage years, and then got a hold of MMA in my 20s, and started to make a career of it.
Man, you've been doing this for a long time. You fight kind of against the who's who of MMA. I think your most recent fight was against Kayla Harrison, right?
My most recent fight is Aaron Tuffield, which is bare knuckles.
Oh, okay.
July.
All right. Tell me a little bit about bare knuckle. I mean, how did you feel competing in that?
It was cool. It was one of them, you hurt your opponent, you hurt yourself as far as your knuckles. So it was like a give and take thing in there. So, it was once I'm putting in the work, then I'm putting the work in on myself as well. So it was cool as far as competing. It's something I've been doing all my life. As far as bringing it back for years, from being gloved up, it was totally different. A feeling that most don't want to feel. So yeah. But it was fun in there. I will say that the competing was fun.
I mean, is that something you're gonna try again, or are you just gonna stick to MMA? I mean,
what's the plan? I'm doing MMA, boxing. Trying to be the first athlete that I know that's currently a 3 athlete sport.
Awesome. Tell me about a little bit about the history of your career. I mean, I know you fought in Bellator, you fought with PFL, you fought with Dynasty. Tell me kind of the full circle of kind of your MMA career.
Well, I just started, locally getting everything together. I think it was making a big break for the girls in the beginning of my career. So I was maybe like 5-0. They had a show down here, which included, one of our hometown stars, Houston Alexander, Anthony Smith, down at Bellator for the Mid-America Center. So I guess they might have needed some extra, a female fighter. So I know probably Train linked up with the matchmaker at Bellator and was like, hey, I got the perfect person for you. And who other than the head buster to answer the call and make it happen. So we did that, and that's how I ended up on Bellator. Actually, the CEO of Dynasty Combat Sports hooked that up, and went from there. Kind of looked up on Kayla on Twitter. People was hey, this girl's coming up. She needs a fight. I'm like, who needs a fight? Nobody need a fight with Jozette's out here in the world, standing around, walking and waiting for anybody. So I kind of went on there. Was like, no, she's not looking for a fight. I DM'd all the guys in PFL. Was like, no, she's not looking for a fight because here I am. So we make that happen, and then just continued on the local circuit. I've seen the bare knuckles and all that stuff was growing. Dakota Cochran had been in the BKC. And then I had seen the Brawl Dada 5000 them show, and I was like, hey, reached out to them because one of our guys, also here, a local fighter, Matt Dillanoy, was already 2-0 in the bare knuckle. So I just wanted to get in there to give myself a different outlet to the sports and doing MMA because, I wasn't having that much luck, finding opponents and getting people to come and fight me or going to their hometown and want to get worked. So, that's kind of how I got to that third sport, but it's something that I'm grateful for because it's just, you never know how long you're gonna sit and wait, and even guys, now I see are on the back burner and finding themselves without opponents. So, with that being said, you just can't make people fight you and stuff like that. So I just wanted to give myself a different outlet to where I was being able to compete while in other sports or whatever other combat sport that was available to me at that time wasn't available, that I can have another place to go compete.
Awesome. It's no secret in the past you've had issues with the weight cut. What have you changed to kind of make it so you're more ready all the time now?
I would say my day-to-day diet, just making sure I eat clean is basically the main thing. Is just making sure I eat clean. I used to just eat what I want, I'm a bread girl, a mashed potato girl. You know, I'm all the carbs type of girl. So those type of things. And then when you miss, you're working and you don't have fights coming up and you aren't training. I kind of just stuck in the gym. So even when those if I am not on, my health kick, then at least I'm staying in the gym. So I had that habit of, I don't have a fight, I'm not going to the gym type of deal in my head. Like, why am I going to the gym paying these fees and I ain't got no fights coming up? Nothing to reimburse me back as far as credit and all the work that I put in. And, that kind of bit me in the ass a lot because, I am one of those fighters that nobody wants to see. So they always try to catch me when I'm off guard, catch me when I'm not working out, try to catch me some type of way, with some kind of blind side because they can't face me straight up, being healthy, being on point, and 100%. So I had to get out of my own head and get out of my own way and say, hey, we either gonna do it or we're not, and last year I kind of put it into that mindset, like, okay, now we gotta do it. We gotta at least stay in the gym. If we at least stay in the gym, and that's being consistent. And the only thing we got to do now is our diet. So it's mostly just cutting out my carbs and staying on my greens. You know what I mean? The protein stays there, but it was more of just making sure I got my vegetables and my fruits instead of indulging in those mashed potatoes and breads and all those things.
It's great to hear. So LaToya Walker, your opponent, I talked to her a few days ago. Kind of looking at her, I mean, she's kind of fought the who's who of women's MMA. She's fought against Caitlin Young. She's fought against Charmaine Tweet. What does it mean for you to be fighting against such a game opponent at this point?
It's awesome. You don't get them. It's a dime or a dozen where you get people like me just out there ready to fight. And it doesn't matter who they're in front of. It doesn't matter who they fought. And, you know who you are within yourself, and your confidence within yourself and your confidence within your skill is something that, should guide you to any fight and allow you to have that assurance that anybody's in front of you, you're able to take on or even do a good job. So I know for a fact that, she's one of them people that it doesn't matter. You just give me a date and I'm going to do what I do because that's who I am. And then whoever's in front of me, they got to deal with that. So I'm just super excited to be fighting, another game opponent, a striker, somebody that's coming to put on that work, to put in that show.
What are your goals for 2022? What do you plan? What do you expect to be able to do this year in the MMA game?
As far as MMA, I'm coming to take it over. Hopefully, get a new contract with Bellator. I've been wanting Cyborg all my life. Y'all know that. I've been wanting Cyborg for years. You know what I mean? And it'll mean a lot to me just to be in the cage with her, share that stage, and see who's the best of the best. I know it might take maybe one fight. I'm hoping to get in there and beat one of the girls at 45, and then get that title shot. That's the goal. Continue on my boxing. I got on my 2022. My goals as far as boxing, I want to be the champ. I know there's a girl right now at 165 that has all the belt and unified them. So she did all the work, Nate. I'm trying to make her do all the work and then go and take everything that she earned. So that's the goal for boxing. And BYB, it's just wherever it is. If they have a fight and it's consistent with what I got going on, or not in the worst of anything, or I don't have to mess up my hands because I have gloves coming up, or if there's enough time in between. I just really just want to be that active 3-sport woman, and just it doesn't matter where it is. As far as Bellator as well, I still want to have that access to be able to go, hey, if there's a boxing match come up, then I'm gonna take that. So I don't want to be necessarily tied down to anybody or have that fight contract unless them numbers say that, Nate. If the numbers say, hey, Jose, we got you all that, but sometimes the numbers, Nate, ain't what it's at. So the contract can be as good as it can be, but if you don't have an opponent, how are you making that money? So what I don't want to be is a sitting still talent, just sitting, like I have on some of the years 2-3 times out of the ring, out of the cage, not even competing at all. So for myself, it's just working for myself and being my own brand and building my brand as far as me, myself, and my skills and what I'm bringing to the source of, whatever promotion I am. I'm bringing Jozette, and then, y'all gonna pay me for that, and then that's it. And if you want a bigger contract or a bigger time with me, then that's fine. I just need to be able to have access to every sport. Those three sports I was telling you about: bare knuckles, boxing, and MMA. Then I'm good. I'm good with anything. I want to have at least 7 fights by the end of this year, Nate, and that's the goal. That's the goal on my 2020 list. So that's what I'm hoping it pans out by December. Hopefully, I get a boxing title. If not, maybe a boxing MMA fight. If not, win the bare knuckles title. So I want to have at least 7 fights completed this year in any style fighting.
Awesome. Somebody I know that I'd kind of like to see you match up against. I know that's sitting out there contract list is Megan Anderson. How'd you feel
Oh
about that
yeah, I want to be.
matchup?
I want some of that. Yeah, yes sir. Yeah,
All
yeah.
right.
I went and tried out Nate, as you know, years ago for the Tough Enough. Was a little disappointed they didn't pick me up. I mean, I thought I gave them the personality they needed. I thought I went in there, Nate. As you know, I did have trouble making weight, but according to all the 45ers under there, Nate, I was at the lowest weight of all those bitches that was coming in at 45. So I thought I showed enough to say that, hey, maybe I'm changed as a fighter or whatever. They're who's and how they pick the fighters to be on the show or whatever. They end up picking other people than me. Made a tweet, and Megan Anderson, for whatever reason, she felt the need to get under there and tell me the reason why I didn't get picked for the show is because I've never made 145. So why would I think that? And I just let her know that when I do get to 45, she's going to be one of those asses I whoop at 45.
Awesome. Well, hey, you know what? First things first, you got to take care of business next week on Dynasty Combat Sports. They'll be able to check that out live here on MMA Futures. Super excited about seeing you back in the cage. Thanks for hopping in. Stick tight for a second. I got a couple more things for you to do before we're done here, but thank you very much for joining us.